Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic and discussion is regarding how to troubleshoot all software update shows not required. Recently I moved my WSS server from uh, my primary site to a different server. Then I checked all the software update showing not required. All the update is not coming for my clients, and therefore I need to troubleshoot. Let's get started. So the first thing is I need to check the logs from my client. I have Windows 10 20H2 version. If I go and open the location services log, you can see is if I go back and open the SCCM agent client, if I run the policy and also the software update cycle, you can see it's sending the WSS location and it's not getting response back from my primary site MP because I recently moved my WSS from primary site to a separate server VM, and I need to find what's the issue. When I check the registry, and the registry is also not showing, it's under HQ local machine, software, policy, Microsoft, Windows, and Windows Update. And see it's not getting the location. There's a policy GPO where you can manually create a GPO and manually specify the WSS location and push it to all your clients. Let me quickly show you that GPO. This is the GPO which exists in the computer configuration, policies, administrative, Windows components, and Windows Update, where you can specify your WSS location. But this is not recommended. Please do not do this. It's not recommended by Microsoft because SCCM will manage the location of the WSS. If you do that, it will get conflict. You'll face issue. Client will not get the updates or send the scan message back to the your site server. So that will get conflict. Make sure you need to do not have that GPU. SCCM will take care. So we check from client side what's the issue. Now we need to go to the my primary site SCCM. We need to check the boundaries. I know I have the boundary based on Active Directory. You can, if you have IP address range, make sure your WSUS site server should have IP is covered under that boundary. And let me show you my WSUS server. This is my WSUS server, and it is running and it's functioning fine. Now I have it under this boundary. Now let me check my boundary group. This is my default boundary group. I created another one. If I check the properties, and I see I included my boundary, and if I check the references, I think this is the issue because I removed my WSUS and separated it to its own server. That's the issue because the client will look, it's part of this boundary and it's finding the management point, my primary site, but it's not finding my WSUS server. Let's add that one. See, it's listed here because it was previously in my primary site server. It had WSUS was included, so I don't need to add it. This one wasn't in this list. But now it's showing because I created a server and installed the WSUS server and also included my SCCM to use that server as a software update. So let's click OK and click Apply. Okay, let's go back to my client and see what status we get. So I'm gonna keep this as open. I'm gonna go to the, I'm gonna restart the service. Okay, now it's refreshing its policy. Okay, successfully created context from the raw certificate. That's good. By default, it takes time to run the software update scan cycle. I'll manually do it. What I can do is run the software update scan cycle. Okay, here you go. So it sent the request to WSS location and got back my WSS location. I'll also run I'm gonna run also the machine policy. Okay. Okay, it's getting all the this policy, and it's also getting back the WSS location right away whenever you run the software update scan cycle. Now, if I go back and refresh my registry, see, now it's getting the WSS location. I'll give it more time, so it will run against it will scan all the software updates and send back to my primary site server, and then we'll probably see if there's any update showing required as of now. So I'll give it some time. Okay. For me, I don't have much clients, so for me it's much faster. So now when I come to my console and filter to required, I see more software updates showing required. Only one showing required. This one's expired, and this one is showing for my other client, Windows Server 2016. So I need to wait for my Windows 10 to show up. See, it's running. This one is required one, compliant one. So for you in the production environment, maybe you'll need to wait, give it more time. So you need to run scan against and send it all details back to your primary site server and update the console with the required. So that's the fix. Again, I want to emphasize that the boundary group is very important. Make sure your boundary group is included all the site server which has the roles, for example, DP, WSS, and the management point. If you have more than one site, make sure you have correctly configured boundary group based on their city locations or region. If you have a different region, make sure you need to have that region management point. And also you can use same software update into up to 25,000 users. And you can make sure you include WSS server on all your boundary group, no matter what where they are located. If you have less than 25,000, so one software update will be sufficient for those, and make sure you need to include that in each boundary group. That was the fix. If you have any question, if you have any concern, you have more issue with your software update, please comment below. I'll try to my best to give you the answer. Thank you, guys.